The CyberIrishman is at Osaka's Expo 2025, the World Fair. I've been here for 4 days looking around the pavilions and the events, and here are my top picks for the things that you should do if you come to Osaka 2025. And don't forget, get your tickets well in advance because you can start applying for lottery tickets to see the popular pavilions 30 days in advance of your arrival here. Now the ring is a magnificent structure. It's one of the largest wooden structures in the world and it surrounds the exposition. There are maps all over the expo that show where the different pavilions are in respect to you and the ring. The major pillars on the wall are clearly marked with their location numbers, and there will be a segment map nearby that shows you what other pavilions are close to you. Now at night the wall is fantastic and it gets really peaceful after about 7 o'clock. You can get to the top of the ring using stairs throughout or the escalators by the most easterly and westerly points. It's a great place to both overlook the exposition in its entirety and to watch the drone show at the end of the night. Ireland is one of the first pavilions you'll come to if you enter through the East Gate. The first part of its exhibition is to recreate an Irish peat bob, and it's done really well and has some perfume that makes it smell very authentic. There's also a room dedicated to Irish arts and crafts, where you can try your hand at playing an Irish harp. That was really popular. The last room hosted 3 Irish musicians and dancers who encouraged participation with the audience. It also had a really serene Irish montage projected on the wall. All in all, I left Ireland feeling very relaxed. The Earth at Night Pavilion did a great job highlighting many traditional Japanese skills, also explaining how these skills are very regional. Pride of place was a 1 meter diameter lacquerware globe with a great explanation of the painstaking process of creating the globe and the many different artisans needed to bring it to life. The Advanced Air Mobility exhibition showed a drone-like air vehicle that could be used for remote medical evacuations. Here, the medic pilot needs less flying skills than a traditional helicopter pilot. It was a full-scale model and was pretty impressive. The exhibition also had some other conceptual air vehicles on display as models. The Pasona NatureVerse was by far the most impressive of the tech pavilions I got to visit and a definite must-do. It started out featuring a display of how raw materials are used to create modern technologies. Participants are then ushered into a room with a very impressive movie storytelling projection system. The story explains the interconnectedness of nature, technology and humanity. We were assured that modern technologies are our friend and not our foes. And if you can't trust Astro Boy's word, then whose word can you trust? Now, still in the NatureVerse Pavilion, we got to see an actual lab-grown heart muscle beating in a vat, just like a normal heart muscle would, and that was fascinating. The Flying Operations Unit was a concept of a mobile operating module that could be dropped into remote locations with a surgeon performing the operation from anywhere. Honestly, it wasn't super convincing. Pasona NatureVerse was one of my favourite pavilions, and if you didn't get reservations, it's worth trying throughout the day and even worth queuing for. The Korean pavilion was pretty large with 3 zones, but I wasn't able to film the laser and voice shows, which were also pretty interesting. I was allowed to film this demonstration of converting carbon dioxide in human breath to energy using a hydrogen fuel cell, which was also pretty interesting. All in all, a pretty good pavilion. The Serbian Pavilion was a great pavilion if you have smaller children, and it was all about play and human connection. There were no do not touch signs here. The exhibits and the staff really encouraged the kids and those young at heart, like myself, to touch and interact with the exhibits. It was full of vibrant colours and just felt very welcoming. The highlight was a hybrid real mechanical and virtual Rube Goldberg type machine. kids were encouraged to drop a marble in and watch its complicated journey before popping out the other end. There were tons of kids running ragged around the place, squealing their heads off and having a whale of a time, and everyone loved it. All in all, I'd say this is a must-do if you have smaller children. The Gundam Pavilion was one of the largest and definitely a must-do if you were a fan of Gundam or high-tech immersive exhibitions. We start our journey learning the story of Gundam. Then we are taken on a long and exciting journey in a space elevator up to a space station tethered to the Earth. The view out the windows and the roof was very realistic, and we had the privilege of Gundams escorting us outside for most of the journey. It was a pretty long ride up, but we got a great view of both the Earth and then space all the way up to the space station. They did a great job of setting the scene for what comes next. We eventually arrived and were ushered off the space elevator and into the space station. Just as we were walking around admiring the space station, things take a turn for the worse, and we get thrown into a battle between the goodies and the baddies. A word of warning, kids under 5 might find this overwhelming and a little bit scary. But don't worry, I was fine. The battle was very intense both visually and had fantastic chest-pounding audio effects. I won't give away the ending, but I made it out alive at the end of my first day at the expo. Now, Gundam also did a great job releasing time slots throughout the day. You do need a reservation. There are no walk-ins, but I like the way they have balanced lottery reservations and on-the-day reservations. If you enjoyed day 1 at the Osaka Expo, check out the videos of my subsequent visits, as I was at the expo for 4 days in total. And also check out my travel vlogs from Japan, Singapore and Asia in general. I'm the CyberIrishman. Subscribe, like and follow me for cybersecurity, AI, digital nomad and travel content here on YouTube. The YouTube channel is @CyberIrishman. And if you're interested in corporate, cybersecurity or AI training, contact me via my website cyberirishman.com. Catch you on the next one.